The announcement for the 2016 Hearthstone Championship Tour format is up, and it's a format which has really streamlined the way that people can qualify. It's getting started as early as December, so get right on that. It's a lot more inclusive so that the top Hearthstone personalities, streamers, players like myself are not going to get advantages over you guys now, so look forward to seeing several of you also attempt to make it to the 2016 Hearthstone World Championship. The 2015 World Championship led to a 16-player tournament at BlizzCon. I expect the same is going to happen in 2016, but the process which leads to the selection of the 16 players is a bit different. The prize pool is $1 million compared to the $250,000 of 2015. So, yes, more money. That's fantastic. And not only that, there's going to be 3 season championships which add in $100,000 prize pools. There's still 4 people from each of the regions. The way to get into those 4 slots are now, instead of having one big tournament at the end, one big regional qualifier, there's going to be 3 regional qualifiers, which determine 3 of the 4 people who make it. So there's going to be a regional qualifier at the end of February, at the end of May, and at the end of July. So that's 3 seasons. There's the winter season, the spring season, and the summer season. I, for one, like the schedule quite a bit more because it means there's going to be more Hoppin' Hearthstone stuff during the year with 4 big events as opposed to just 1 at the end. So, how do you qualify for these tournaments? That's a good question. As we compare the point distributions, you can first notice that the ladder play has had its point structure flattened out a lot. So first place is getting 15 points instead of 50 points, and 51st to 100th place are getting 5 points instead of 1 point. That means that first place is now getting only 3 times as many points as 51st to 100th, as opposed to 50 times as much. So this is to emphasize consistent placing at a high rank, as opposed to just one big score. Probably the other big change is that tournament wins are a lot flattened compared to ladder. Last year, or this year, 2015, winning a 25,000 plus tournament would get you 100 World Championship points, whereas this one, Hearthstone Majors, are worth 15 points, which is the same as placing first in ladder. Previously, if you had just won a tournament, you would pretty much qualify, whereas here it's a little bit more difficult, I imagine. Speaking of the tournaments, one of the big reasons why these tournaments are more accessible and the championship is more accessible now more than ever to the general public is because these tournaments which award points now have a few strict guidelines, rules, on inviting known players, such as myself. If there are invites, then there must be at least 128 open registration players that can sign up, which is to say, if there's a big event, then there must be an opportunity for a lot of people to sign up. And you can still reserve known players, but everyone is also going to start off at the same level. There's no buys for invites. Everyone's going to fight on equal footing from the first round onwards of these tournaments. Since the tournaments are larger, you're going to see less of your fan favorites participating in the finals of these tournaments, but you can always hold tournaments, of course, with invites still. They just won't provide World Championship points. There's a greater focus on getting people to attend local events. So there are going to be a few Blizzard-sanctioned Hearthstone tournaments at fireside gatherings If you win those tournaments, you're going to be a tavern hero, and along with the 128 players invited from the rankings, you also get to participate in the preliminaries and compete. So out of every single season, only one person is going to make it to the World Championship, and there's going to be 3 seasons, so that's going to be pretty tough. Finally, the last way to get that 4th spot in your region is there's a last call tournament where all the points earned throughout the year are tallied up. The top 8 point earners are going to participate in one final last tournament, and one winner from that group of 8 will make it as the 4th participant. It's a long year, and I'm going to, of course, be attempting to gather as many points as possible, so I can be your Trumpian.